gonna tell you something, man. You know what? I'm sick of pedophiles. Yeah, sex offenders. Dude, they're on every channel. Everybody is doing something on sex offenders. You know, it's like, dude, I got it. There's people out there touching kids, you know? But it's not everybody. It's a very small portion of the population. So, you know, take it down a few, because you're making it awkward out there. Dude, you can't say hi to kids anymore. I love kids. I love kids. I like making faces at them on the airplane, making them laugh. Now parents are like, is that a sex offender? They start huddling their kids in, making me feel like a freak, you know? I'm terrified of kids now.
The continuous attention from the media to pedophilia that makes you suspicious when you see a man.
So the number of male teachers in our primary schools has fallen to just 1 in 8.
Does it matter? Well, there is increasing evidence that young children are not seeing enough male role models in schools.
And some fear men are being frightened off.
Yeah, I do think there is a different perception of men compared to women in public places. Depending on how they look, if they're with or without children, they will be looked at in a different way than a single female sitting alone in a park, rather than if it was a male. Might get a few funny looks.
Some educational experts believe schools are too feminised nowadays. Methodical working and attentiveness have been encouraged at the expense of competition and leadership, the things boys respond best to.
Humans are designed to protect their children against all threats and will go to the extreme to do so. But when a society does not understand the differences between pedophiles and hebephiles, or fails to understand pedophilia itself, the consequences are disastrous. Because when people do not understand the perimeters of pedophilia, anyone can be a pedophile, especially men. The fear and paranoia of pedophilia has become so extreme that laws have been created viewing all men as pedophiles. Airlines have banned men from sitting next to children in the plane. Libraries have banned men from the children's section. Children daycare centers have banned fathers and male teenagers. Companies have banned all literature that contains underage sexuality, which includes the banning of the Bible, the Quran, and the greatest love story ever written, Romeo and Juliet.
A while back, an unusual yet shocking experiment was done on British television. In the experiment shown on ITV1's Tonight's programme, 2 child actors, a 7-year-old girl and a 9-year-old boy, were left alone in the middle of a London shopping street, looking upset and lost. Hidden cameras were watching to see if anyone would come to their aid. Over 1,800 people walked past the children, and only 5 did something to help. And those 5 people that did help were all female. None of the males were willing to help. Afterwards, when the men were asked why they didn't help, they replied that they were scared of being viewed as a sexual predator. Their fear had become greater than their will to help the children.
All this mass hysteria has transformed the dynamics between men and children. Men are now afraid of physical contact with children and are even afraid of showing public affections towards their own children. Boys are being told that all men are potential pedophiles and that they themselves will also become potential sexual predators when they mature. Women are also affected by this mass hysteria. Women with small breasts have been banned from TV and magazines because it encourages pedophilia. Companies have also banned any depictions that remotely resemble teen sexuality, such as school uniforms, cheerleader costumes, and ponytails. But companies and governments are not only responding to the pedophilia hysteria, they are also participating, using the pedophilia hysteria as an excuse to create new laws that limit civil liberties and silence oppositions. Unfortunately, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The fear and paranoia surrounding pedophilia has become so extreme that it has started to backfire on children. A few years ago, this may have seemed impossible, But today, governments are arresting children and putting children in jail in order to protect children from pedophiles.